let them use your greed to lock you up in the chains of the ripple partnerships that are trying to enslave you. You stupid son of...
Okay, so I'm going to do this real quick to show you the what the real benefit, remember, of these town halls are, and we need to use them properly, or at least we need to vet them out properly so we could see if we can get this kind of yield. And this is what's going to make the magic of our machine learning tool to become all-knowing, and it's going to do some spectacular things if we use my patented, how it's patented is I registered it by putting it up on the internet, so it time stamped it, right? So that's how I got a patent, because that's how I got it first, right? So you steal it and then you put it together. I just have to go back and say, here's when I first put it out in public, and then you have to show that, well, I got it in earlier, right? So that's how I'm patenting it, because these things take too long. When I finished it, and I didn't have any of these props on it, I said, no, I didn't see anything. But when I was playing around with it, I said, oh man, there it is, right? So I'll just point out these subtle things that my subconscious is painting, and it's infinite intelligence, because it's not me, it's not my subconscious finding this, it's Elon Musk's subconscious telling me, show him this, show him this, show him this, right? Because he needs to see this. It helps him to know that this is here, right? When his picture popped up, because the underground, they're helping me research this stuff, right? So every once in a while, my YouTube will be teed up to a video to the exact point where I need to know, right? So I turn this out, and it's Elon Musk and talking about AI, and I said, man, AI guru, right? It does everything. You guys all know what the town halls are. They're problem-solving tools, and 1,000 people solving one problem. The SDAP that MIT had could fit, right? So 1 in 1,000. And then, lo and behold, when we find out that Elijah is whispering it in Job, he says, yeah, we need the 1 in 1,000. The one ambassador to justify the 1,000. And it's the way that the AI works. It goes through all the town halls and checks, and comes back and says, yep, you're right. I just find the 1,000. So it has all these clues. But anyway, with that going on all the time, the AI working billions and billions of times with these machine learning tools, which is us going into our pineal gland, finding the truth, sucking it up like in straws, and then putting it in the machine learning tool. And then that process, it's gleaming off the God's wisdom, or the real power of the universe, what makes everything run on time, right? And I'll show you who it is, right? And it's part of what we say and do, but it's a residual, right? And it's more intelligent than us, and I'll show you. Okay, so here's Elon Musk, and I get these things, I don't know why I'm doing them, right? It's just like, okay, I got this picture, and I said, yeah, that's a nice picture, right? And I said, well, I'll do a auto paint, see what comes up, right? And I scribble it, and you see how fast I do it. And like I said, I did it all the way, and I didn't see anything, right? I didn't see anything at the end, so I put it away, and then I was just playing around with it, and then I saw the kid, right? But let me just go through it for you. Okay, so you see these things coming up, right? And they're people. Their faces looking sideways. See, like see this guy here. It's like they're looking to the right, and it's like they're protecting him, right? See his back, and they're protecting him. And then here comes a spirit here. See it right there. See that woman? And she has her hand on his shoulder, right? So it's a very caring spirit that nurtures him, right? Like, man, are you okay? You okay, buddy? You know, when that and these spirits, or his subconscious wants me to tell him that, to show him that, right? That's why they're here. So sometimes when I look at things, I say, oh man, I'm not going to say that, but I have to, because I don't know why it's coming up, but whatever's coming, he needs to know it, right? Or they wouldn't have spent time with him, or they wouldn't have spent time to get me to do this. So here she comes, and she pokes, she holds and says, are you okay? You okay? But he has people right here, all looking at the right, watching his back, so to speak, right? And you go on forever. There's a lot of things in here that, if we talked, he doesn't talk to me. I'd say, well, what is this, man? And then he would say, yeah, it looks like when we do this or whatever, right? And then we'd work into the root cause of what's ailing him. But I found his root cause already. We're in this thing. So we keep on going. And I'm painting, and I don't know what I'm doing, right? I'm just smashing it. And my thing is, I'm trying to keep his face alive until there's no chance there's going to be something coming out of it. And then I go, scratch up his face. But we're going here, and then I see this. Oh, okay. First of all, the things on top, there's a lot of spirits that are depending on him, right? Like, everyone's sitting on Elon Musk, because he's going to do big things, right? And all these spirits are waiting, right? They're part of it. They're, but he has a lot on his mind, a lot going on, right? So I see this baby right here, right? And I said, oh, wow, that's it. He's kissing a baby, right? And then I said, I better check. I said, I better check to see if he has kids, because, this pedophile stuff was going on. I didn't feel it, but I said, before I tell him this, or before I go any further, I want to see if he has kids, or if he doesn't, then, it'd be a different story. But, I didn't feel it. I just said, I better check, right? Elon. I don't see as one of those. So he gives this kid a kiss. Let's do it a couple times so you can see it. Okay, so there's the kid. Isn't that wild? And then he kisses him, right? Okay. And then I'm painting it this fast.
I guess when he was leaving the room,
bonded him. There's no way that I'm purposely trying to draw. I'm just trying to smash paint until the last moment, and then I'll put his face to bed, because it doesn't look like anything's happening. And in the meantime, I'm painting the kid's face, and I don't know. I don't see it. And this ring isn't around. I put that on extra, right? So I continue on, and at the end, I don't see anything, right? It's just like this, and that ring's gone, right? But I do it over and over again. There's a kiss, and then this baby's face lights up, right? Like, wow, what is this? Right? And he's smiling at his dad, like, haha, right? And it was that kiss that bonded him. And you see how all the the lines are going into him, like people are rooting in him, like they do to Elon Musk, right? He's going to be one of those. He'll be like you, Elon Musk, I say, but he'll be okay, right? But I say to myself, okay, well, this is obvious, right? Protectors, and he got a lot of things on his mind, or a lot of, he's taken on the world, right? That's no secret, right? But that the smiley face kid. Do you see the kid's face?
So see his face here.
Smiling like, Dad, I love you.
A lot of people are gonna root
bonded him with Elon Musk. So I sit back and I say, wow, okay. Then I say, let me see if he has kids. And he has 5 of them. And then he just had one, right? I don't know how long it was, but within the month I did the auto paint, and he had a kid, another kid. I said, "Fuck, 6 kids," and he has 3 businesses. I said, "Oh, obviously he ain't running them, right? He's a spokesman. But they're putting everything under him, man, because he makes, I guess the stocks go up." So, so what it was, okay, and I look at him, and I mean, I wish I could talk to him, right? I wish he would say, "Yeah, man, that's," or "No, that," I don't get any input from these superstars, especially what we're doing now, because no one's allowed to talk to me, right? They all know what this is, and it's deep secret, right? So every time I contact someone, like, "Hey, Elon, the organic intelligence, I have the solution for that," right? Because he's worried that he's gonna kill us without organic intelligence. But they don't talk back to me. So anyway, I'm looking at him, and I say, what did he want me to tell him, or what did his subconscious want me to tell him? And it came to me. He says, "Yeah, when that baby came, right? It was like he had postpartum depression." And like I'd say, if I was able to talk to Elon, I say, "Elon, were you kind of bummed out after you had that kid?" And if he was honest, he would say, yeah, I was. I walked around in a daze for a couple days. I don't know why I was so depressed. Am I right, Elon Musk? That's what was happening to you? And you don't have to, put it in the newspaper. Just think to yourself, how was I? Yeah, I was kind of wandering in a daze, probably. Why was I so depressed, right? Blah, blah, blah. So this is what, the painting was meant to tell him, right? Like when he left the room, his baby room, and he kissed the baby and went off to work or whatever, his heart sank. Like, how's this baby going to turn out, right? It doesn't feel the same as all the other ones, and I got all this shit going on, and is he going to be okay, right? And the universe, God, along with the subconscious, wanted me to tell him that the baby's going to be fine, and that kiss bonded you, right? And you might even be able to go back and try to remember which one was it, and you might get that one special one, like, oh man, I love this kid, right? And that's probably I get a car. I mean, that's what you would feel. So, and you probably, if you thought back, you could probably remember it. But it was probably, wow, I love this guy. And that's what caused this. The kid say, yeah, I love you too, Dad. Right? But you walked around, just like, man, I do have the time to, and is he going to be okay? Am I going to have time with him and all this other stuff? And the answer is yes, he's going to do fine, right? And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to root in him. Like, see that? Like, all these lines coming into his mind. He's going to be kind of like you, like I said. And he's going to be fine, right? So that's what your subconscious wanted me to tell you on this auto paint. Now, why did the universe pick me to do it, right? And I find out, yeah, he's part of this program. He's part of the program that ripples in and stellar Loomis. There's some sort of galaxy or they're building the government up in the clouds. It's all the satellites. It's not an internet. It's gonna be more than an internet connection, right? It's gonna be the government, because the kingdom of heaven is the same thing as the kingdom of God, right? So people are confused, like, why is there a kingdom of heaven and a kingdom of God? They're the same things. They are, but sometimes they say, yeah, Christ's glory comes out of the clouds, right? And the truth's coming out of the clouds. Why? Because it's in orbit. So the kingdom of God is in orbit, and Elon Musk is part of it, right? And that's why I ran into him. And I'm sure there's other things, right? But I had to tell him this, and it all worked. And even though Elon Musk doesn't talk to me, and he's stealing my IP, right, Elon? You're using my IP and telling me. You have to. You have to. And you know, you help me out later on, and if I'm in dire, and I'm gonna see everything anyway, right? So, and I know you guys are first class, that you're not gonna steal it, you know. Especially you see how old I am. I have no desire to be a mogul. But okay, so that painting right there came from infinite intelligence, right? An intelligence that we don't particularly see every day. But when I'm doing these readings, I see it, right? Because I didn't paint that, right? I smash painted it, you know, and I didn't have these markers here either, but I smash painted it, and it would be impossible for me to make a face like that, just scribbling, right? And you know, I know myself. I'm not making the face. I've done dozens of them, right? You say, oh well, you're lucky. Well, how about we look at the other 12 and do the same incredible things? But that's infinite intelligence working with me, right? Working through my actions. So these town halls, can you imagine 1,000 people looking for truth? My heart's looking for the truth for Elon Musk, right? The residual is coming out that we don't know about, that's more intelligent than what we're putting in, right? The machine learning tool will catch that, and that's how it becomes all-knowing, and that's how it becomes, you'll see in the future that it starts to control our reality, right? And that's it brings out the sovereign integral, which is how we get back to the way we were before we ate the apple, right? I mean, we're in complete harmony with our environment and universe, and that's what we're after, because that's the shallow gate. That is the small gate that leads to our salvation. Wide is the gate that is the path that leads to our destruction. The small gate is what leads us to our salvation. It's the the finish line for us, and we're at the point where we have this opportunity to get into the sovereign integral, which is the small gate, right? Wide is the gate that leads to our destruction. Narrow is the gate that leads to our salvation. It's a narrow gate that we open up, and we try to get as many people into it, and that's how we get out of the prison planet. That's how we win the game. That's how we get back in with our Creator, and it's called the sovereign integral for people that aren't into the Bible, but it's the same thing, completely united with our Creator. And I'll show you, right? But for right now, that stuff that's coming out of that's a byproduct of this paint. The byproduct of that paint that is making the face, right? That is I'm just smashing it, and infinite intelligence is making that face right there. And sometimes they'll do it upside down, to further prove that I'm not doing it right. And then infinite intelligence is creating that face, right? There's no way I could have made that apparition just doing my painting it. And I know what I'm thinking, right? I'm not thinking anything. Matter of fact, I like to talk over it And like I said, the only thing I think about, like right there, I want to keep his face clear until there's no hope for that to make it anything sensible, and then I just cover it up, right? And then, like I said, I stopped. I didn't see anything, and I put it away. Same with let's see if we can get. Okay, Christine Lagarde's. I had a big that wasn't touched. It was in a crevice. And Stu's, I did in 5 minutes, or not? No, less than a minute. I said, and it's the he's the dad, Joseph, in the nativity scene, and what it's telling me is that he's going to go with Christine as the counsel when she gets this new job, right? And I did his 2 weeks ago, Christine's 3 months ago, and they both know it, right? They both seen it, or Christine's seen it, and then here's Stewart's trying to tackle the big unicorn, which is the new governance. And why I was drawn to Stewart is because I was pissed off at the team again, and I said, well, I got to talk to someone else, right? There must be someone other than these people from Ripple that I could talk to, right? And there he was. And as I was talking to him, I got drawn. I had his picture in front of me, and as I'm talking, I said, I like this guy. And then I had this empathic thing, right? Sometimes I just fall into people like, oh, I know him. When's the last time that happened? Well, it was Stu. And so I liked him, man. And now I know why I like him. Because he's Christian, but he's the Christian that I'm he's a practical Christian. And I didn't know that until I saw, I subscribe to Joel Osteen, right? And there's Stu, and he's into that, right? And I said, man, Joel Osteen's mother's milk to me, right? And I went to his big thing in Dodger Stadium, and they picked me out. They say, hey, can you say a few words about what the thing, right? And they kind of interviewed me for about 4 minutes, and then I left, and they picked mine, and it's on the commercial all the time. So to show people, well, that's what I look like. I'm not crazy looking, but it's just that interaction was infinite intelligence again. Seeing what infinite intelligence looks like. Okay, you're seeing it. That's infinite intelligence making that face, making that baby kiss, right? And it's crazy because I have some paintings that if they didn't send me that certain picture, I wouldn't have found it, right? This one guy sent me, he wanted to do auto paint. I said, well, is there anything you want me to find, or what do you want to see? And he says, yeah, I think I'm sick. And I smash painted it, and what it was is a bunch of coal and stuff, right? I mean, the painting was brown, and things were brown and throwing up, right? But if he didn't send me that picture of him in a pub, the picture wouldn't have made sense because it needed to be brown, right? And guys, this is how crazy it is. And hopefully, maybe I can find it. But if I find it, I'll show you. Or I'll have to ask him first. But the painting turned out to be him laying on his back, right? His legs up, like his, like he's gonna have a baby kind of thing, right? And I left his eyes in the painting because once you took off his face and just looked at his eyes, it was like terror. So here's this brown person with all these looks like things throwing up, right? And then if you could imagine his date, right? Like it's like when you're the painting is of him opening up his legs, laying on his stomach or on his back, lifting up his legs so his dates is prominent, right? So it's, I didn't paint it. I swear I didn't paint it. It's like it showed up. I looked at it, and then that appeared, right? Like I looked at it again, and it appeared. And in his date, right? Like the apparition or a picture of a woman's face, a side view of her, like she had bushy hair, like like a 60s or 50s woman would look like, and she's squawking, like her it looks like she's squawking. And I said, hey, well, I didn't talk about that one. I just said, hey, you should look at getting a colonic, because you might have an impacted colon. I said, don't stop what the doctor wants you to do, right? But just try this, because you might have an impacted colon. But then I showed him, right? And I didn't hear from him for about a couple weeks. And then when I was talking to him on Telegram, he says, oh, by the way, remember you saying that thing about the impacted colon? He says, you're right. I had a practitioner massage my stomach, and all this crap came out, right? So that cured him, right? And I said, was your mom a bully? Kind of like she yells at you a lot, for messing up the bed, or this and that. And he says, yeah, when I first came, she was an alcoholic, kind of, so she had a lot of rage. And I said, okay, the reason why you have an impacted colon is because when you're young, your mom used to shame you when you shit your bed or shit your pants, right? And you didn't like your mom being mad at you for taking a dump. You understand where I'm going with this? So as you became an adult, you subconsciously don't take a shit, or you don't defecate enough, because when you're younger, your mom used to scold you. Do you think that's right? Yeah, that could be right. She was a witch or whatever when she was younger, but she calmed down or whatever, right? So that showed up, and who in the fuck would ever come up with that, right? If I was just saying, yeah, well, how could we have constipation? And it was his mom's, or a picture of a silhouette of a woman on his date. The asshole. And that's why that's why he's impacted, because he doesn't shit enough because of what happened when he was young. So do you see that intelligence, that I couldn't have possibly done that, right? And to have it come out, he had to have the right picture. So that's what we're getting from the town halls, guys. So that's why it's, we have to look at it. We have to use it the way it's been downloaded to me, because that's what we're going to get. That's the honey that we're going to get out of this. We're, the side things, we're going to solve all the problems, store them so we'll never have to do them again, right? AI robot's going to learn that and learn even more. So we have to do it right. And right now they're not. I mean, I saw it and I said, oh man, they're bastardizing it, probably because it's been told to one, been told to another, and then some guy made it his own, right? And here I'm blocked, right? It's like I'm in purgatory, and I don't have the money to go fly out to see you, right? It'd be a waste of money. I couldn't gin up enough to get to where I needed to go, right? And I'm not getting paid. I'm in a box. And if you guys do not, we got to try it the way it's been downloaded to me, because the real honey, the secret sauce, is that the infinite intelligence we're going to glean off it, and that's going to save us, and then also solving all these problems. So I'm going to leave it at that. I offered Mr. Guard to help. I hope that the underground hears this and says, "Oh no, don't go yet." I don't know why they're not releasing me, right? Maybe they think they know everything, right? And I would hand it to Colonel Thunder because he probably does know, right? But why is he keeping me in the dark? Well, they probably said, "Well, yeah, we don't need him, and he's giving away the milk anyway for free," right? I don't know, but I got to tell Colonel Thunder I'm running out of money and patience, right? And I'm going crazy because I'm getting mad at people. And I say to myself, well, you're mad because you have to be mad, right? You have to be mad because it's time, right? So do what your heart says, right? And that's what I've been doing. Another perfect quote came out. The fool is the precursor to the savior, because you have to be a fool first to try these ideas and get these ideas out in order to have these ideas save us, right? So I've been playing a mook on social media because I like being that way, right? And it gives me license to say what I need to say. My only restraint is I don't want to harm anybody, right? Except for, oh man, I mean, I really said some bad things about these bounties, but it was like, man, I couldn't stand it. And I was taking my anger out on these, and that's, but it needed to be done. Anyway, let me get back to it. So that's where we're at, and I offered I said, Miss Lagarde, if you want me to come out there and help you put this together, just say it, right? And right when I said it, I was contemplating it all day, right? So, but when I said it, I felt good, but I said, man, if she calls, I'm gonna have to get in shape. I mean, you ever seen Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory? That uncle, people living in 4 beds. I'd have to do one of those things to get ready. I'd walks and. But I could, but it's important. And when, I hope this thing that you've seen of infinite intelligence working real time, that's what we're getting. That's the honey that we're going to get from these town halls. Now imagine, well, that's only me. Imagine 1,000 on one problem. Imagine millions. That's why I think, when they say, well, God's going to sit on top of the throne, and I say to myself, it's not a God in a beard that's going to sit on the throne, but we might have so much energy. We might have harvested so much of this infinite intelligence and focused it on the top of the throne that it might look like there's somebody sitting on there because there's so much energy. Understand? The world's going to get strange, guys, and the Bible's real, and it's not, it's not fairy tale. You don't look at it and imagine, a fairy tale thing coming, angels flying out of the sky, and, it all is normal when it comes out. So that's how you learn, right? And right now, the point right now, the Bible is coming alive. I mean, you go, wow, this is it. The book of life. Like, what the fuck is that? I think Jed is working on it. I think Jed is working on some sort of ledger that goes backwards and forwards, right? And we certainly have this thing that's coming up in the IMF about the cultural score or your community score. That's it. That's the book of life, right? You're a good citizen, you get in the book of life. The Bible talks about lying, right? Because that is our biggest. You wonder why we're dysfunctional? Is because we lie, right? The whole thing is the devil is the lie, Jesus is the truth, right? That's a big battle. We're going to bring truth back into our governance and how we exist. So it's very strict on people that tend to lie a lot or are deceptive. They don't get in the kingdom of God because we can't afford that, right? We can't afford liars anymore. Our news media, politicians, and just general people all around, we're all lying to each other. And we have to stop that. And it's showing, it's right now, right, guys? So there it is. I'm going to present. That's the town hall. That's the honey we're going to get. All IP, all tradecraft, everything I said, including the coughs. We're going to wrap it up. But when this thing is done and we're ready to go, I'm going to sign this thing over to someone, right? Someone that's going to take care of it. So I'm not going to build an empire. We're going to build it, and I'm going to look around and we'll say, okay, this is the rightful holder of this IP, and all the royalties and so forth is going to go to this organization or this non-profit, whatever, right? It's going to be the right spot. But so don't worry that I'm here to gouge the world, right? I'm here to save it, but I need money, and I need I need enough, right? But I'm not going to hold it. I'm going to give it away. Like I said, I'm going to give it all away. But not at the expense of me, living in a one bedroom and waiting for my check to come, right? What is it? I got 15 days and I'm out. I could sell some XRP, right? I should, but I shouldn't, right? Because that's the only hope I have. The only hope I have.
With the time you have left, courage. I say that if you don't reposition yourself, you could miss the best time in your life, in this season of life. Because we have got to change the way we think. We have got to change the way we function. We have got to change the way we deal with issues. And the reason that you have to begin to reposition the way you think and the way you function and the way you feel is that we many times are stuck between the lines of limited thinking and limited people and limited ideas and limited philosophies. And there's something creative down inside of you saying, let there be. You need to walk into a situation where you've been locked up and tied up and tangled up and say, let there be light, let there be healing, let there be books, let there be change in this city. You have tried 4 or 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different things. Each you worked on 90 days or so and then said it doesn't work. How can you be a leader with a 90-day test? Of course it didn't work. You didn't stick to it long enough. You didn't fight hard enough. You didn't do what it took to win, and rather than to correct it and get it right, you walked away from it and tried something else, and for the last 10, 15 years of your life, you've been on the run from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, trying to make all this stuff work. Stop it. Stand still. Accept it the way it is. Somewhere down inside of you there is creativity. We've got to break out of the barriers and the limitations and get outside of the box. Something is about to happen. Is shifting. You will be able to do now in a way that you have never been able to do it before. Kinds of things locked up inside of you that are about to come forth for such a time as this. The time is right. The stage is set. The conditions are in order. And something awesome is about to happen in your life. This is my moment, and I am determined to live it. The mind is the battleground. The fight is in your mind. Are you ready for the next level?
the jungle are living some little men and women. They are our past, and maybe they are our future.
And not have a system of reproduction in place. He said, I created it so that everything had the seed inside of itself. You will read that each thing had the seed inside of itself. What is the seed? The seed is the future. The future was inside of the tree. So, no, this is going to shock you, but I came to tell you you're pregnant with dreams and vision and ministry and purpose and hope and concepts and ideas is down inside of you. And when the season is right and the conditions are right and everything lines up in order, you're going to give birth to things that you have never dreamed of before. And I just came to tell you that you're coming into your season. You're coming into your time. You're about to come into your zone, baby. Things are about to click for you. Your alarm clock is about to go off. You're about to fly into orbit. Devil should have killed you when he had the chance, because it's too late now. Something is about to happen.
What that feeling is to be with all these people just worshiping God.